Cool. All right. This next song has quite the backstory. I haven't gone into the backstory in a hot second, so I'm afraid that this is going to be a rambly mess, but you're in for a treat, aren't you? This is for you. Where do I usually start? Basically, a few years ago, I did a singing competition show on the television called American Idol, and it was awesome. It was an amazing experience, and I was very lucky for that. Anyway, there was a woman in my hometown. Like I said, I'm from Illinois. I'm from a town called Normal, if you ever heard of it. Crickets. Normal, Illinois, look it up. I actually love it there. Y'all should go check it out sometime. Okay, see, already rambling. That's not important. But there's a lady from my hometown that saw me on the show. My whole hometown really went crazy for me on the show. It was so amazing, and they couldn't have supported me anymore. And this woman was a part of that, and just was inspired by my journey and seeing me literally having the time of my life, chasing my dreams. And she was a music teacher in my town. I had never met her, and I didn't really have any connection to her, but she was battling cancer while I was on the show. And turning on the TV each week to kind of watch my journey became a very therapeutic, joyful part of her journey during a dark time. And long story short, she very, very sadly ended up passing away a few probably weeks after my journey on the show ended. And she had all these beautiful instruments because she loved music, and I think she had a dream of going out and doing the professional artist thing, but she ended up being a music teacher, which I think is awesome. But anyway, she had all these instruments. She played so many instruments, and after she passed, her husband reached out and told me that it was her dying wish for her guitars to end up in my hands. So essentially, a few months later, we exchanged two of her really beautiful Guild guitars, and they're my favorite guitars that I have in my collection. They're stunning, and it's just crazy how they were in her life for 25 years and in her hands, and had a full story and a lifetime with her, and now they're starting again in my hands, and it feels very meaningful to me that I get to carry on that legacy. And that me being on this little silly TV show was able to bring her some joy in a really hard time in some of the last moments of her life. So, all that to say, the week after I got the guitars, I headed back to where I live now in Nashville and was doing a co-writing session with some of my friends that I have written with quite a bit. And I told them the story, and you could just feel the weight of that in the room, especially with that being so fresh. And we kind of just knew that we had to write out of that place. We didn't know what it was going to be, or whether it was going to be about her or whatever, but you could just feel the energy of her and that story. And we ended up writing this song. And it's not about her, but it's really just us reflecting on what really fucking matters in life, and what it means to live a meaningful life, and just all the little moments that are so important. So this is inspired by her, and this is a song called Dying Wish. If I had a dying wish, I wouldn't know where to begin. I think about the consequence, heavy as a crucifix. I hope it doesn't come to pass. I'm not ready where I'm at. I wanna give you all I have, but I have yet to do that. I'm not worried where I'm going. I just wanna leave with knowing that when I go, I left something behind. 'Cause when I slow the constant motion, I see the little moments are the ones where I feel most alive. If we're living on borrowed time, you give me yours, I'll give you mine. You know what you mean to me, but do you know how deep you could be my enemy, or the rock where I can't lean? Oh, you give me a kind of devotion that cracks my guarded heart wide open. 'Cause you have always seen me, really seen me, and I'm not worried where I'm going. I just wanna leave with knowing that when I go, I left something behind. 'Cause when I slow the constant motion, I see the little moments are the ones where I feel most alive. If we're living on borrowed time, you give me yours, I'll give you